Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Phoning It In. I am Michael Carvelli, joined again by John Terry. Took a little week off. John back
Yeah,
in the shy.
honestly, I didn't even realize we didn't record last week until like Thursday.
It got to a point. It was one of those times that you're doing work stuff where, like, I don't even want to address it with you.
Well, and I wasn't even like returning text messages.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just one of those times where you just kind of know John's got stuff going on. Like we can
I,
wait.
I did feel bad on like Thursday. I was like, oh shit. But then it was so late. I was like, well, I might as well just record next week and call it
I
good.
kind
So
of I there was part of me that had a feeling that was going to happen.
I did not think it was just very stressful. It was a very stressful week. I was averaging like 4.5 hours of sleep over 12 days.
Yeah.
So it was good though. We're done. We're good. The Texas swing. It's hot in Texas in June, man. It is. It
Shocker. What a
is.
revelation.
I think before the game in Austin, the heat index between 4 and 7 o'clock. The game was at 8 o'clock. It was like 106 degrees, and like I was wearing a suit, literally like wearing a suit in the Texas sun in 107-degree weather.
Not the best.
It was not ideal. Austin was cool though. Had not been to Austin since I was a young child, so I had to stay in Austin the day after the game to look at some hotels. And then that night, when the bubble was over, went out and ventured out. One, COVID does not exist in Texas. I feel like I went to Texas like still wearing a mask, doing all of that stuff, and came home and very much do not care anymore. Uh, I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like
It's weird. I mean, it's like that here as well. Like,
and I still wear a mask, but it's like we've gone out to eat like 5 times since I've been back, and we
yeah,
haven't gone out to eat in the 18 months prior. We'll talk about that later, but
yeah.
yeah, it was weird. It was like the interesting thing about Austin, though. Have you ever been to Austin?
Yeah.
Okay,
I went
so
for a football game.
so they're like it seems like they're like 3 different areas where you can like hang out. So you got like 6th Street, which is like the famous area, but apparently, from what I was told, that's not like the cool area anymore. Like it's kind of like scuzzy. There was a shooting there a week before we showed up there. It's not great. Then you have this thing called like Rainy Street, which is like a bunch of old houses. And I was staying right by that. It's like a bunch of old houses that have like bars and patios out front, and they have like TVs, like big projectors. They were like Europe playing Euros in the middle of the day, which is pretty
Nice.
cool. I didn't go to any of those. And then there's something called the East End, which is like think of it like refurbished like auto dealers and like some houses and like more industrial. And there are all these bars and restaurants that are like built into them. But the cool thing is like they're all outside. So like we went to this one brewery. I can't remember the name of the brewery. One of the best breweries in terms of beer I've ever had. And everything was outside. Like they had like the bar was inside, but like most of the seating was like outside behind like, like an auto shop where you have like the office building, and then you have the little building that like the cars pull into, and then behind that you usually have like a yard, so to
Right.
speak. So the yard had been like transformed into like all these picnic tables. They had like the shade tents, like the tents that you like attach with like the hard wires, and it's like they look like kind of modern. They
Mhm.
had misters and stuff.
Nice.
It was awesome. It was so cool. And then like next door was this like other bar with like a fried chicken food truck in it.
Ooh.
And there were tons of them. Like there were tons of bars. The coolest part though about Austin was the scooter game. And they have bike paths all over the place. So like I had a bunch of meetings like downtown. I
Mhm.
didn't Uber. I just scooted
There you
on the
go.
bike path from like hotel to hotel. I mean, it was amazing.
What a
I
life.
mean, you could pay like $25 for an Uber, or you could pay, $4.50 for a scooter at the end of the night.
Hmm.
Um, it was superb.
So
Did
what
not
you're
have
saying,
did not have barbecue at all when I was in Texas either, which was I didn't realize until I got
kind of
home.
surprised. I will say when I went to Austin, which I mean at this point would have been 2012 or 13. Um, I think we did in Austin. We did mostly like Tex-Mex stuff.
Yeah, and like a couple issues with barbecue. One, they're usually not open like all day. Like they're usually open
Also
for
fair.
like lunch.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't eating a lot of lunch. I was eating like mainly big dinners. Um, and they weren't like close to the hotel, and I want to like drive to go get it
Right.
or whatever. So it didn't make sense. So kind of bummed about that, but it was cool. I mean, I think, we talked about it for March a year ago or 2 years ago.
It's a tricky pick.
A tricky pick
because it's on paper. On paper, Austin should be not only like a candidate for March, but it should
top
be
three
like,
every single
like a
year.
consistent favorite for March. But the tricky thing comes with that weekend in March. Usually, the NCAA tournament overlaps with South by Southwest,
right? And which
is fine because like we wouldn't be like.
It just makes the Airbnb market.
That's exactly it. It
go
makes
crazy,
super inflated.
Yeah. So it just makes it pretty tough. So we've talked about what we do if we have to shift weekends for whatever reason. Like I think Austin, honestly, is like that's like an easy pick if we ever have to alter weekends. But
it's one. And honestly, I would love to go for. I would love to go for South by Southwest as well. That would be just a cool thing to get to experience.
It was a cool city though, man. Like definitely cool. Like they got, it's cool. Like the bike paths, like it's a lot more green than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Very spread out though. Like the stadium is probably 15 minutes north of downtown.
Yeah.
In its own little area. So it's pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was fun. A cool, awesome stadium down there too. I mean, holy crap. I don't know if you watched any of the games.
Get to christen it.
Christen it, a sellout crowd. It was nice to be in a stadium with people again.
How was, because you guys have been part of games with fans, right?
Yeah, but not a lot of fans.
Not like a packed crowd.
So like in Orlando, we were like 25%. So it was like a few thousand people.
Yeah.
And then in Houston, I feel like we were around like 50%. So like maybe, 10,000 people out of a 20,000 seat stadium.
Yeah.
But we had 22.5 in the building.
What was that like?
It was weird.
I'm talking like purely from a
personal
perspective of a sports fan who got to see that first Christen Press goal happen, and a crowd of 22,000 people.
Well, I was just nervous about getting the ball, so I don't.
You just can't give like, oh, it was awesome. The crowd was really cool. That's all I want.
Honestly,
John.
the coolest part was like the coolest part was the national anthem, because I think during the national anthem, you can't really go. You're standing there, right? And to just like see it and to see the stadium so full. I mean, it was incredible. It's still a little unnerving, right? Like, yeah. I feel like we've been doing this for so long. You're like, ooh, people. But it was cool. Like it was, I don't want to say like chills. Like, I don't know that I ever got chills, but it's probably because it was 105 degrees outside, but it didn't feel weird. Honestly, it felt kind of normal. It's like, oh yeah, we got a sellout crowd in Austin. Like, go figure. I'm so excited. So WVU this past week, or at some point since the last time we recorded, WVU has announced that we're like fully reopening. And that includes like full capacity for sporting events. And I the last few years, like I've had basketball season tickets, and I obviously make that like the top priority for me to go to. But I think I am going to try to get to one football game, like not for work. Like, you're gonna go drink some moonshine in the parking lot.
I would like to be in the stands for a game, like to get to see like Simple Gifts and the fight song and all that stuff play in like a packed stadium again.
You just let me know what game you're going to, man. Maybe we can.
You're just a flight away. That's all I'm saying.
Or just a drive away.
Just a drive away. That's true too.
It's a long drive.
Not that
bad. But maybe for a weekend, I feel like a flight burns some miles.
Flight makes more sense for just a quick weekend.
Perhaps we're talking about going out to a Washington game this year.
There you go.
Or Washington, Oregon, as it worked out with the schedule. It was the only game that works.
Nice.
So never been to a college football game as a fan outside of the Georgia Tech game I went to with my sister, and I don't remember that.
It has been since my freshman year.
Holy cow. Wow. Probably same, honestly. Same for me. Outside of the one Georgia Tech game, that's the exact same.
Because I started My freshman year, I went to the games and sat in the student section and all that. Then my sophomore year, I started covering games for the DA.
Did I think I started covering games my sophomore year. So because I was with
Yeah,
I was
you
with
were an
Brian.
editor by
Yeah,
then, right?
yeah. Associate sports editor. I was
That was
terrible.
I said
I don't know
editor.
why they
I
I
didn't
don't know
say
why
the,
they a not
because that
an
was when you
editor,
hired me. Was your
a
sophomore year.
very bad editor. Uh but
It's an interesting. It is I don't want to make any judgments on the editor in chief and managing editor at that time because they might be in charge of me professionally now. But an odd decision to make a dyslexic guy an editor. I,
well,
I'm just going to put it.
here's the thing though, and you know this better than anyone. If you can get someone who will show up to work consistently, turn in their stories consistently, and like not be a complete moron, they're probably your editor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Editing has never been my strong suit. I mean, and
No,
I was the managing
you were
editor
more
of
of a
that damn
manager.
place. And
You're
I
more of
can't,
a
yeah,
manager.
exactly. Morale, making sure the gears keep turning. Finding typos though, man, like I probably had more typos than the rest of the staff combined.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, arguably the biggest game in West Virginia history when I was there, right? Was probably that West Virginia LSU game when it was on game day. I would say like that LSU was what, like number 1 or number 2 in the country.
Yeah, they were.
And on the front page of the newspaper, I said that the game was on Sunday.
Well, that's just stupid on you. That's not like
it's dumb. It's just
that's not like a typo. That's just a mistake.
No, well, whatever. That's the typos, mistakes, whatever. It all goes hand in hand. So, anyways, hey, you lost your power, but we both had some storm issues over the last couple of days.
It's been a crazy. I mean, the last week or so here has been wild.
Was it like thunderstorms or what's like the deal?
Crazy thunderstorms. I think we did have I think I saw something on the news about a confirmed tornado in like the Fairmont area.
Oh shit. Watch out, Fairmont.
But like, I mean, there were videos going around last week about Morgantown like flooding like crazy.
I saw those pictures, and that was part of the text threads I never responded to. I remember looking at them though, like it was right Health Sciences parking lot, like across from like Los Mariachis, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, holy cow, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, just so much flooding there. We've had thunderstorms like crazy the last like week or so, and then yesterday finally, because I had been kind of surprised that the power hadn't gone out before with a couple of the storms, but yeah, finally yesterday it went out for about. I was stuck reading in the dark for like an hour and a half.
You use your cell phone light or?
No, I've got like some. Listen,
like book
Jamie
lights?
Carvelli is a prepper.
Oh, so you got some flashlights.
And he has, anywhere I've gone, he has stocked me up as I've moved out.
How many jugs of water do you have in your current place? Zero.
If he's asking, I've got a couple, but
got it. All right. Well, I think Donna, you need to have Jamie bring over some jugs of water for your son.
What I do is I just fill it up in the tap. I had water still.
Well, I'm just saying, man. I wasn't. So we had like crazy tornadoes.
Yeah.
What was it? What night was it? Sunday night? What day did you lose power? Yesterday. You lost power Monday.
Monday.
So Sunday night, we go to sleep at like 9 a.m. We're supposed to have 9 p.m. Sorry. We're supposed to have bad thunderstorms in the afternoon. They never came. I looked at the radar. I was like, oh, there's some like little stuff out there. We're good. Yeah. We go to bed at like 9:15. John pops a sleeping pill. I'm out. At like 11:15, like when you get like Amber Alerts and your phone goes berserk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was like worse than that though. It was like the world is ending alarm on like my two phones, her phone. I felt like everything was just buzzing. You wake up and it's like tornado warning. And I'm like, it's 11:30 at night. Like typically tornadoes come at like 5:00 in the afternoon, like when it's like the heat of the day. So she's like, do we need to go to the basement? And mind you, about a year ago is when my car was destroyed by a tree falling. So like I'm a little like sketched out by the bad weather in Chicago.
Understandable.
Pull up YouTube TV on my on my app. The first thing I'm going to know if we have an issue is if, like when they break into local news and they're like the weather guys on there just talking. I'm like, I'll go to a local news affiliate, see what's on. Go to CBS, DEFCON red, like the weather guy is like, they get like at 5:08, it's going to hit here, and 5:09, it's going to hit here, and 5:12, it's going to hit here. And if you're whatever, that was happening. And this tornado was about maybe 10 miles due west of us, moving due east. And I was like, holy shit, we're about to get hit by a tornado again. Like, this is for real. So I'm like, we got to skerfuffle, get down to the basement. And we got to get our cat with us because what happens if like the roof flies off and Marlo could get away? So we come down to the basement. We have a futon down here. So we're like, let's go sleep in the basement for 2 hours. So I just like laid here and watched the weather. Ended up, the tornado was fine. There was a tornado that touched down about 15 miles south of us that took out like 10 homes in the city. There were like 4 or 5 tornado warnings throughout the night. But dude, the amount of rain and lightning, like, of course, while this was happening, I realized I forgot to put on my grill cover that night. So the grill is getting soaked. I didn't want the grill cover to fly away though. Like, those things aren't cheap.
That's true.
And I literally needed to go 10 feet and there was so much lightning. I was like, I'm not doing it. Like the lightning was insane. I mean, it was absolutely wild. I've never seen lightning like that before. And I've been in the middle of a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma, and the amount of rain, it was raining so bad so rain in Chicago goes into sewer lines from your gutters. It was starting to back up the sewer line and our toilets were making weird noises.
Ooh.
We were pretty nervous about it, but it was insane, man. It was
Wow.
It was wild. I'm like, maybe once a year I can do this, but we get more than once a year. And I don't know how Cody does it. He probably gets tornado warnings like every other week.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Dude, so it was nuts. All is good though. Just, grass got a good watering, which is nice. Yeah.
I'm very excited for it to just be, I would like the rain to stop. That would be nice right now.
But. Well, in theory, it's already June. Isn't it crazy? By the way, it's June 22nd.
Yeah.
Like when you're like a kid and you're in like school or whatever, and you get out of school like last week of May, first week of June, and your summer is measured like once you get to July, it's like, okay, I got like 2 weeks and then summer's basically over, even though it's not, but it feels like it's over when you get to late July because like schools go back mid-August nowadays, right? We're already like halfway through summer. What?
I mean,
what?
No, that's not true at all.
It kind of is though. Like,
because the first day of summer was literally yesterday.
Yesterday, I understand. Oh, yesterday was the summer solstice.
Yeah.
Didn't even occur to me. Question: do you still measure though? Like, obviously, we work now full time, so like, I feel like again, as I was mentioning, you used to like the best time of the year was like June to August because like you didn't have school. Like that was like your summer break.
I mean, I admittedly am still in that.
You still like?
Well, because I work at a school.
Right. So but you still have to go to work.
So
it's less like intense.
May through August is much less going on.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I just think it's interesting. Like
now is the time where like everyone takes time off.
Interesting.
Like people are taking weeks off at a time right now.
And honestly, that's how it was in college athletics. That kind of is how it now because we don't have a ton of international windows where we're hosting games. But I don't know. It's interesting. I think you just always associate June to August as like the best time of the year.
Yeah. I think I admittedly have kind of always been in that because I always go like basically May, like late May, early June until mid to late August, just because I went from being in school and having that be my summer as a student to working
high school
at
athletics.
A newspaper covering college and high school athletics, where it's the same thing. Like those are the off seasons.
Yeah.
And then now I work for a university where that's when the students are
that's a good point. I don't know.
So I'm kind of stuck in that, but I feel like probably if I didn't, I don't know. I would say like about now is when I would think summer would start, like mid-June.
Oh, interesting.
Mid-June.
I just like, I'm looking at the calendar right now. I'm like, holy shit, summer's basically over.
Yeah.
When it doesn't matter to me because I still work every day and like whatever. But, interesting.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Cause you mentioned, you guys have gone out a bunch. We went out again. Our work friends all got together at Brew Pub. How's that been? I mean, it's still really.
So I had not gone anywhere. I went to this place in Texas, this brewery, and
Yeah.
it was like no one's wearing a mask. What it was like kind of crazy, but whatever, it is what it is. I survived. Got back and I was like, hey, like let's go somewhere. Like this is crazy. So around the corner is this like Irish pub that just opened up. And
Mhm.
it's like a chain. There are like three of them in Chicago. Like, admittedly, the food's not great. It's not like super cheap beer, but I was like, it's like a 5 minute walk. Like, let's go check it out. They have great
Yeah.
TVs. You know, like the bars where like the windows open onto the sidewalk, so like it can kind of feel like open air. Like that's the thing. Pretty cool spot though. Like they have a good beer selection. That we had the food we had the other day wasn't good. That we went there tonight again, and the food was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then right next door to it's like this cocktail bar. Like it's a fancier, like
Very nice.
I don't want to call it a pub, but it's like a fancier spot.
Yeah.
We went to this, and then around the other corner, then in the other direction, there's this pizza beer garden place.
Mhm.
Easy Street Pizza and Beer Garden, I think is the name. Huge outdoor patio, like super chill vibe. So yeah, I mean, we've gone to a few places. It feels normal, man. I've
We're
stopped bringing in mask places.
That's wow. See, I have not done that yet.
I
I'm
mean,
really interested.
I just like don't like. Do you still wear it into like a rest? So Chicago, when I was gone, they lifted all their restrictions.
Mhm.
So it's like, I mean, I still believe in them. Like,
The
I don't like.
restrictions lifted here on Sunday.
Got it. Okay. So you basically here, you still have to wear a mask on public transport and in like medical facilities. But if you're like walking into a restaurant, you don't have to have a mask on.
I typically do. The other day when we went to Morgantown Brewing Company, the people I was walking in with did not. So
Mm.
I also kept mine in my pocket.
So it's interesting. I feel like before I left in Illinois, if I didn't wear a mask, I felt like I was judged. And then when I went to Texas, I was like, oh man, I'm getting
You felt
judged
like
so
you
hard
judged.
for wearing a mask.
That's how I had been feeling too. Um,
But it's weird, like all the hotels and stuff like still require them.
Yeah.
And so I was still wearing them quite a bit in Texas, just because like I don't trust Texas. But when I was like scooting around, like I was not wearing one.
Yeah.
It was also like 105 degrees.
right.
So it was like there's that. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how that changes things.
I am very interested as a group, the people that our social media team. Next week we are going to Kennywood.
As a group.
Yeah.
Oh, like the roller coaster place.
Yes, like the amusement park.
That seems like a weird like team bonding, or what's the
Basically, yeah. I think the 30th is like something like one of those like national social media days or something like that.
does Dave like roller coasters?
We'll find out. I don't
We'll
know.
find out. Yeah. Okay.
I've never gone to an amusement park.
Have you ever been to Kennywood?
Not since my senior year of high school.
Okay.
It was like our senior trip.
Got it.
In
Okay.
high school.
Cool.
We did Kennywood in the morning and then a Pirates game at night.
Nice. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know this about me, but I used to have this mild obsession towards amusement parks, theme parks, and roller coasters. And Kennywood was always like featured on all these Travel Channel shows and all this stuff. But I never actually went.
Huh.
So
Yeah, I went senior. I have not been. I'm trying to think of the last times I went to Hershey Park maybe 5-ish years ago. Would have been the last one. Then I did Cedar Point with Tony and Nick a few years before that.
I remember when you did Cedar Point. That was another one I was always like wanted to get to, but
Yeah.
never did. And that's expensive to go to. Cedar Point's like you gotta like chop off your arm to get into that amusement park.
Yeah. So that's going to be an interesting one just to go to a place like that. Especially with the rides and like people being on and off the rides and all that. I don't know how they're going to do that, but yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's one of those things where like it's nice to have that normalcy.
It'll be interesting to see how it is,
But,
like
yeah.
COVID restrictions. Hey, let's talk. I think we're about to go to the same place.
I wasn't.
What were you about to say? No, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask you if you were more of a Morgantown or Mountain State Brewing person when we were more
Interesting. So I went to I only went to like each one once or twice.
Okay.
Which is crazy if you think about it now. So Morgantown.
I know
Brewing,
you were not
you didn't love beer. No, I went, but I like the Holiday Blonde. I remember going there probably with you, Cody. I think Mackenzie was there, and I got the Holiday Blonde, and it was good.
the best. So
And
that's
then
basically that drink, which is the Holiday Blonde is just their alpha blonde
with
with
some
like
like
cinnamon
spices.
sugar on the rim.
Okay.
And that's their like holiday special. The Alpha Blonde is like the only thing about Morgantown Brewing Company that's the same anymore. Like the menu's completely changed.
Really?
Like every beer that they used to have is gone. They
Wow.
basically they rotate a lot. It's really interesting.
Because it used to be like fairly small, right? It used to just be
Yeah, they had like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They've got they have new ownership that took over recently. But like they have they make a hard seltzer that I had that was really good.
The blueberry thing.
I had a sour that was really good that I enjoyed quite a bit.
What
And I had the sour as a slushy.
what do you think about sours?
The one that I had, it was good.
Do you like sour things in general?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like when I go to the movies, I get Sour Patch Kids, and I don't.
What a child. I actually went to Morgantown Brewing once with Cody, and we got a dark beer. I feel like I was like, I don't know, Cody, just get whatever, and we got a picture of it. It was pretty good. Mountain State Brewing, I never drank there. I only got their pizza once, and I very rarely remember it.
Pizza's really good.
It. Admittedly, I feel like I went to Pies and Pints more than either of them combined. I know, which is like kind of a bummer. Is that still there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I just remember like the great pizza and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Man, I want to get back to Morgantown.
We got listen, football game.
Just a flight away.
Do a football soccer weekend. So we got to do. I want to ask you that West Virginia had its first of the like COVID vaccine lottery things.
Yep.
This past weekend.
And did you win?
I did not win.
What were like the things that you could get?
Let's see. So there's a whole list. I did not put my name in for everything just because some of the stuff I didn't want.
You didn't want like a gun?
Yeah, like I didn't need a gun. I don't need a lifetime hunting and fishing license because I already have one. We've got $1 million winner. They have some trucks that they were giving away, college scholarships, lifetime hunting and fishing licenses, custom hunting rifle, custom hunting shotgun, and then a bunch of the thing that I put in for were the state park weekend getaways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some interesting stuff. I think they're doing several of them. I think this was just like the first of several. And then also WVU is doing them for faculty and staff and students.
That's cool that West Virginia is doing it. I heard one of the hotels that we talked to, they were giving anyone who got vaccinated basically like a free holiday or free like 8 hours worth of pay.
Nice.
Which is like, what? Yeah. Like, come on. So I actually saw this on the list. So I looked it up in Illinois and I had not registered for anything, but it looks like there is something and they're not going to start drawing until Thursday. I think I have to submit it here before July 1st.
Sign up.
But it looks like they are giving away just cash. So there's, it looks like there's, again, like for youth, there's like scholarships and stuff. It looks like there are 3 $1 million prizes for vaccinated 18 plus residents, 18 $100,000 cash prizes, and then 22 $100,000 like regional cash prizes. It looks like there's some those are all like young people, so I don't know, I guess I'll submit it. I got nothing to lose. How do you feel about cash prizes though? Like, does that get you excited to get vaccinated? Or like, I mean, if someone just said, hey, if you get vaccinated, we'll pay you $100, like what's better?
Personally, it does not, because I was going to get it either way.
Right. Okay. But let's say you're not going to get it.
I'm like, oh yeah, sure. If you're going to offer me like the $100 gift card that they offer.
My question is, would you rather get like a guaranteed $100 or $200, or would you rather have like a 1 in a million shot to win some money?
Well, in West Virginia, we're doing both.
Okay. Well, and unfortunately in the state of Illinois, we're not. So if you weren't getting both,
I think the guaranteed monies is probably best.
Probably better, right?
Yeah. Obviously, like it's a bigger deal to get the bigger prize, but whatever.
I mean, it's cool. It's like an interesting idea. I just like
Yeah.
don't know how I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
I didn't realize Illinois. I had that written down on our list because I wasn't sure if Illinois was doing something like that.
Well, apparently I'm already entered. I don't know. I wonder if you can go get vaccinated twice. You know, like these things where you can like up your entry. Well, I actually am curious if I can get vaccinated twice because I got the Johnson & Johnson. I'd love to like, you know, batter up Johnson with the Moderna or the Pfizer. But I wonder if you can. Okay, all eligible Illinois residents will be automatically entered. So I'm already entered,
Oh, okay.
which is exciting. Okay, that's good. So I don't know, maybe I'll be a millionaire in a week.
There you
That'd
go.
be a hell of a way to cap off or to start July, man.
Would be great. Would be awesome.
What's the most? Are you sorry? You might have said this. Are there any cash prizes in West Virginia?
$1 million.
$1 million. Okay, what do you do if you win $1 million from the COVID lottery? What's the first thing you do?
I don't know, man. I probably, I mean, honestly, the dumb thing I do, I would leave enough to buy like one big dumb thing. Like I'm not talking like super extravagant, obviously, but like something that I would splurge on.
Yeah.
And then I'd probably just save the rest. I don't know.
Attaboy. See, that's good. I would.
All in crypto.
Yeah, dude. Whenever we talked about crypto and it was like at the height, it has just like tanked.
Meanwhile,
man.
my movie theater stock is going crazy right now.
I was looking at it the other day and I was like, holy crap. Like this stupid thing, had we not talked about it on the podcast, I wouldn't have been convinced. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Yeah, my $150 has now dwindled to 128.
Not ideal. But yeah,
not ideal, man.
We've got that. We've got the $1 million prize in West Virginia. I think like I need to look up what WVU is offering like to students and stuff. I don't think they have anything. They're doing like free textbooks, stuff like that, free meal plans, adventure trips, that kind of thing. So some cool stuff for them.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so
it's cool. One more thing on that. It's cool that like smaller places do things like that. I mentioned the hotel, West Virginia, because you actually have a shot to like win something.
Yeah.
You know, like you really don't in West Virginia, but you kind of do versus like the entire state or whatever. Right. So it is kind of cool. It also incentivizes kids who probably aren't eligible for the state of West Virginia one to actually be eligible for something when they're at school, because there are so many people who aren't, you know, students.
I would imagine you're eligible, because if they're offering like free scholarships.
So in Illinois, you're only eligible if you're an Illinois resident and you've got the vaccine.
Oh, you mean like a
federal
okay,
facility.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like a WVU student who lives or who is originally from like
who got shot up in New Jersey.
Or something.
Yeah. New Jersey.
So I want to get, we've got a little bit of time here before we wrap. We've gone for about 30 minutes so far. The time where we would typically be doing the movie club, the rom-com showdown. We're holding that off this week because of your work stuff.
That's on me. We
didn't get a chance to watch it.
I didn't get a chance to watch
I am going to
even baby dad got a chance to watch it.
I'm gonna get to substitute one thing for another.
Okay, here we go.
We're gonna take the final few minutes. John, you have made it back home from work, and I actually think you're probably leaving soon again for work at a perfect time. At a perfect time.
Okay.
Because next Monday, that would be Monday the 28th, is the beginning of a new season of Love Island.
Okay. And what's your point?
This is my pitch to you to join me, to join our friends Tony and Dave, who I work with and we worked with at the DA, in watching the season live as it airs, or as close to as it airs as you can. I have one major selling point for you on this season more than others. Actually, kind of two, based on a reported thing I've heard that's going to be just kind of interesting.
Okay.
One, not included in the first group of people initially on the island this year, but I've heard reportings of this person being on there. Gordon Ramsay's daughter might be on Love Island, which could mean Gordon Ramsay could end up on Love Island at some point.
Is he the chef guy?
Yes.
Okay.
So like that would be cool. But the big selling point. A few weeks ago, we talked about our new favorite small soccer club, #United.
Yep. I need to finish that documentary, actually.
The other day, #United, when Love Island posted about the first 10 Islanders who are going to be around.
They call them Islanders, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
#United posted that one of the people on Love Island this year is a #United player.
Do we know who it is? Like, do we like this guy?
His name is Toby.
Toby.
He's a winger, I think.
It's a good name.
Yeah. He's pretty fun on the video, like on a few of the videos I've seen him in. Seems like he'll be good on the show. We'll see. But I think you should watch it with us. We've got a person that we can root for.
Okay, I like that. I do that. That's a fair.
You don't have to watch it live with me, Tony, and Dave.
Here's my
On
problem.
Hulu after.
Here's my problem with Love Island, and I've said this like a bazillion times on this show. There are too many fucking episodes.
John, you work from home a lot.
Yeah, I know, but I can't concentrate.
You were talking to me the other day about how you're sitting down there where you are right now in front of your wall of televisions, working at like 12:30. Mario's in bed. Marlo's doing whatever Marlo's doing. You're sitting there working. You can throw on Hulu and watch episodes of Love Island.
Can I ask you a question? Does Love Island have like a recap episode of the entire week? Like, it's just a lot, man. It's like how many episodes a week? How many episodes a week?
5.
5? Is it daily?
Yes.
There's an episode every night.
Yes.
What channel is this on in the UK? People actually watch that?
Yes, a ton of people do. It's huge.
Dude, man. Dude, that's in how long are they?
Hour. Sometimes
You're
2.
telling me people in the UK watch that every single night.
People in the US do it.
Dude, it's too long, man.
It's not.
It's hard enough for me to stay on track with The Bachelor, which is an hour every week.
You don't watch The Bachelor.
I do watch The Bachelor.
No,
This season is really good. Big fan.
Watch Love Island.
My main thing is just how many hours you have to devote to this thing. It's a lot. Can you just admit, whether I watch it or not, that
it's an hour?
But can you admit that an hour a week or an hour a day for Monday through Friday is a lot?
It's
like
an hour.
That's a lot. That's a lot, though. It is a lot.
It's an hour.
It is a lot.
I don't think it is.
I don't know, man.
It's an hour. Do you eat during the day?
Actually, typically I don't.
Well, then you have other work-life balance things you have to work out.
You are going to spend 5% of your work week watching Love Island. That's just a big commitment, man.
I will say this while I'm doing other stuff. That's the point of reality TV. It's not like watching Love Island is not like watching a Martin Scorsese movie.
Okay.
I don't have to like be locked in on it.
You can multitask.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can be noise, especially when you have that much of a show. When you have it on every day, you can afford to have it be like the thing you have on while you cook or while you're doing laundry or while you're doing other stuff.
I will say that
That's the great thing about reality TV.
I'm more intrigued because of the #United guy. Yes. Still a little miffed at how long it is, but still.
I think intrigued. you won't notice.
Okay. We'll see.
Here's the thing. That's the crazy thing about it, because I know it sounds ridiculous. When you get started, you won't want to stop.
I've watched it before. You act like I haven't watched the show. I have.
I don't think you have.
Before.
You've never watched a full season.
No, well, yeah, because it would take a year.
But you can't get. You have to give it a shot.
I will see.
It doesn't take a year. You can you could do a season of it in a lot. Trust me, you can do a season of it in a lot quicker than you would imagine.
I understand that, but it is a commitment. Just please admit to me it's a time commitment.
I'm not saying it's not, but like it's an hour of your day.
That's fair. I wasn't even able to watch a 2-hour movie at all last week. Like I'm just, Okay, a question. Here's a question for you. This is actually an important question. Do you know on Hulu if it's one of the shows that you can download and watch offline?
I would imagine it. I don't know.
That's a game changer because I'm going to be on a plane a lot.
I don't know.
So we'll see.
I don't know. I don't know what Hulu is like on planes. I don't know if you can download shows.
I will give it a whack. Is that or
You
a
should.
what do they say in England? I will give it a I'll give it a fancy.
I don't think that's what you're gonna But you should watch it. You should watch it. But mostly before that, for next week's pod, you should watch 10 Things I Hate About You.
I am going to watch some things that
Which I did watch the other day while I worked. It was my work day watch, which is what Love Island will likely be most of the time.
What I would like to do, I'd like to propose this now. We should record the podcast on Sunday if you are available.
You can record it whenever you want.
Let's record it on Sunday. I'm going to be in location.
Right, we can record it.
Oh, I haven't watched 10 Things I Hate About You.
We can take a break for 2 hours and you can watch a movie and we can come back and record tonight.
No, I'm gonna watch it. I am excited about it. I've never seen this movie, and you've said a lot of good things. Mariel's seen it before, so I'm excited to watch it.
Heath Ledger is a star.
I don't know that I know what Heath Ledger looks like.
We went through this literally last week on the show, I think.
2 weeks ago when I was in Houston.
Whatever.
I was laying on my couch.
Whatever.
I do know what he looks like. Because he died. He
really
died
good.
a couple years ago.
Like watching this got me really bummed that we lost him so early. Because I started thinking of like all the stuff. I fell down a rabbit hole of like looking up rumors of roles he had been like linked to, like be doing before he died. And it got me really excited, bummed. Like it was like, oh, that would have been so cool to see him be in Inception or something.
Right. Inception. He died a while ago. That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah. So 10 Things I Hate About You will be next week. That's my first pick for our movie club rom-com showdown. And then you will have a pick for the week after. Do you have any idea what you're going with yet?
I don't. I mean, there's some obvious ones that I could do with. Yeah. I don't know. I need to think.
I'm going back and forth on how much I want to do like good rom-coms
versus like ones that we've seen and
versus like ones. Okay, there are some that I have not seen before that I know are like among the best, right? Things I want to see. Like I would like to eventually watch like Notting Hill, different stuff like that. But also I'm like, I haven't watched Hitch in a few years.
Yeah,
I like watch Will Smith be cool.
I honestly think what we might do is we might do The Proposal because you've never seen
it. Perfect.
And,
that's a perfect one.
It is one of my favorites.
Ooh. Let me see if I see. That's the nice thing. We've got that little list on Letterboxd that I put together.
It was not loading for me. I kept getting unauthorized access.
Maybe because it's a private list. I thought I could share it with you if it was private. If I like how on YouTube you can do like the unlisted links.
Yeah, no worries.
The issue with that, we'll talk about it off air.
Yeah.
That would be great. I love that idea. But yeah, next week, 10 Things I Hate About You. And I don't know, unless you have anything else, I think that's all we got for this week. What do you think?
No, I'd just like to give a shout out to Nick. You know, he's doing well, making that baby.
Yes.
So I don't want to spill any beans, so I'll ask you about that off air too.
Okay.
But man, we miss Nick. We miss Cody. We need to have him back.
Cody, if you're
listening, man,
or watching, please
come back. We miss you.
Watch 10 Things I Hate About You and join us next week.
I feel like him and Allison would like 10 Things I Hate About You.
I feel like they do.
I'm sure they've watched it. It's like a classic.
I'm the
only one that has
talked about before.
Yeah. So,
but I don't know. Yeah, please come back. But yes, thanks everybody for listening. Be sure to subscribe to the show on whatever app you use for your podcasts.
Wait. We forgot one thing. Cody was hanging out with Michael in Colorado.
Oh, that's right.
Like, dude doesn't even tell us, and all of a sudden I get FaceTimed and they're chilling at a bar in Colorado.
I will say the
mystery.
It's the one great thing about the like constant mystery of Cody is that he might like not respond in our group chat for a couple days, and then will just be like,
He'll
I'm
send
doing
you
the coolest thing anyone's ever done. Look at
he'll
this.
he'll send you a selfie from the Opera House in Sydney. It's like, oh, you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I did want to.
No, that's a great call because I forgot about that too. So yes, dang, so much jealousy getting to see that too.
I know that's and the video was horrible, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah. Not the best effort from Michael of drawing us to Colorado
Springs for March.
But yes, be sure to give us a 5-star rating and review on whatever app you use as well. And John, why don't you tell the people where they can find us on socials and stuff if they want to talk to us?
They can find us at phoningitinpodcast@gmail.com or phoningitinpod. Phoning it in pod on Twitter and Facebook.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where they can find us.
That's it.
It's 304-427-1889.
Yeah, go ahead and give that number a call, see what happens. But yes, we want to give a shout out to Miguel Silvaleone as well for our theme song. Check out Saving
Is
Miles.
it 627-304-627-1889? Okay.
Check out Saving Miles Lemon on Spotify or Apple Music. And with that, that's all we have for this week. Thanks everybody for listening. We will see you next time.